Snow fell softly outside the caf window as Nicholas Harrington sat alone at his usual table, staring at his laptop without really seeing it. At 38, the CEO of Harrington Industries had perfected the art of looking busy while feeling completely empty. It was 11 at night, and the caf was nearly deserted except for the staff cleaning up. "Excuse me, sir," a soft voice interrupted. "We're closing in 15 minutes. Nicholas looked up to find a young woman in a brown apron standing beside his table. She was maybe 29, with blonde hair pulled back and kind eyes that held a sadness he recognized. "I'll just be a few more minutes," Nicholas said automatically, returning his gaze to the screen. But the waitress didn't leave. She stood there for a moment, studying him, then said something that stopped his heart. "You look tired, like my husband." Before he left, Nicholas's eyes snapped up. "Excuse me." The waitress's face flushed. "I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. I just meant, you look exhausted, like you're running on empty." "And it reminded me of someone." "Your husband?" Nicholas asked, curious despite himself. The woman hesitated, then nodded. "Before he died, he worked himself to death, literally. He was always at the office, always pushing himself harder. He said he was building a future for us. Instead, he had a heart attack at 33 and left me a widow with a daughter to raise alone." Willis felt something cold grip his chest. "I'm sorry for your loss." "Thank you," the woman said. "I'm sorry for bringing it up. It's just, when I see people working themselves to exhaustion, I feel like I should say something. Maybe if someone had said something to Daniel, he'd still be here." She turned to leave, but Nicholas found himself speaking. "What's your name?" "Claire," she said. "Claire Morrison, Nicholas." "And Claire, why are you working at 11 at night if you have a daughter at home?" Claire smiled sadly. "Because this is the shift that pays the most. My daughter Sophia is with my neighbor who watches her overnight. I work here from 4 in the afternoon until midnight. Then I work at a medical office from 8 to 3. I sleep when I can." Nicholas stared at her. "You work 2 jobs? That's 18 hours a day." 17, actually, Claire corrected. "I have an hour between jobs, and I sleep during Sophia's school hours when I can. It's not ideal, but it pays the bills and keeps a roof over our heads." "That's unsustainable," Nicholas said. "So is working until 11 at night when your body is telling you to rest," Claire replied gently. "But we do what we have to do, don't we?" Nicholas found himself looking at this woman, really looking at her. Behind the exhaustion, he could see strength. Behind the sadness, determination. She was sacrificing her health and sleep to provide for her daughter, just as her husband had sacrificed his life trying to build a future. "How long has your husband been gone?" Nicholas asked. 2 years, Claire said. "Sophia was 5 when he died. She barely remembers him now, and that breaks my heart. All his sacrifice, all his hard work, and she can't even remember his face without looking at photos." She pulled out a small photo from her apron pocket. In it, a man in a business suit stood with Claire and a little girl, all 3 smiling. "This was taken 3 months before he died," Claire said. "He looks happy in the photo, but I remember that day. He'd just come from the doctor who told him his blood pressure was dangerously high, that he needed to slow down. He promised he would, after he closed one more deal." There was always one more deal. Nicholas felt like he was looking into a mirror. Just last week, his own doctor had warned him about stress levels, about pushing too hard. Nicholas had promised to take it easier after he closed one more deal. "Why are you telling me this?" Nicholas asked quietly. "Because someone needs to," Claire said. "Because I wish someone had told Daniel before it was too late. Because when I see you sitting here at 11 at night, staring at a computer with dead eyes, I see my husband. And I think about the little girl who'll never really know her father, because he thought work was more important than life." She paused. "I'm sorry if that's too forward. It's not my place. I should let you work." "No," Nicholas said, closing his laptop. "You're right. I am exhausted. I haven't had a real day off in 3 years. I eat at my desk. I sleep in my office. Half the time, I tell myself I'm building something important. But lately, I've been wondering, for who? For what?" Claire pulled out a chair and sat down across from him. "Can I tell you something Daniel said to me the night before he died?" Nicholas nodded. "He said he was tired, that he just wanted to sleep. I told him to take the next day off, to rest. He said he would, after one more meeting. He died the next morning in that meeting. His last words to me were about work." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "I would give anything, everything, for one more day with him where he wasn't working. Where he was just Daniel, my husband, Sophia's father. But I don't get that, and neither does Sophia." She looked at Nicholas directly. "Do you have family? Someone waiting for you to come home?" "No," Nicholas admitted. "I was engaged once, but she left because I was married to my work. That was 5 years ago. Since then, it's just been me and the company." "And is the company worth your life?" Claire asked. "Because that's what you're giving it. Your life, your health, your chance at happiness. My husband thought it was worth it too. He was wrong." Nicholas felt something break open inside him. "I don't know how to stop. The company needs me. The company will survive without you," Claire said. "Trust me. Daniel's company did just fine after he died. They replaced him within a month. But Sophia, she'll never have another father. The company got a new CEO. We got an empty chair at the dinner table." She stood up. "I really do need to close up now. But Nicholas, please, take care of yourself. Don't let work be the thing that defines you. Because when you're gone, the work won't remember you. But the people you could have loved will remember your absence." Nicholas left the cafe that night feeling like he'd been hit by a truck. Claire's words echoed in his mind. He drove to his penthouse apartment, walked into the empty space, and, for the first time in years, really saw how lonely his life had become. The next morning, Nicholas did something he hadn't done in 3 years. He called his assistant and told her he was taking the day off. Then he drove back to the cafe. Claire was just finishing her morning shift at the medical office when Nicholas found her. She looked surprised to see him. "I thought about what you said last night," Nicholas told her. "And you're right. I've been killing myself slowly for a company that will replace me the day I drop dead. So I'm making changes." "Good," Claire said. "I'm glad. But I also wanted to say thank you," Nicholas continued, "and to ask if you and Sophia would like to have dinner with me. Not a date," he added quickly. "Just, I'd like to hear more about your husband, about the man whose warning might have saved my life." Claire studied him carefully. "Why?" "Because I'm tired of eating alone," Nicholas said honestly. "Because you made me realize I've been half alive for years. And because I'd like to know the family of the man who inadvertently taught me the most important lesson of my life, that success without life is just a fancy way of dying." Over dinner that evening, Nicholas met Sophia, a 7-year-old girl with her mother's kind eyes and her father's stubborn determination. He learned about Daniel Morrison, the man who'd worked himself to death, but who'd also loved his family fiercely in the moments he'd been present. "Daddy used to say he was working so hard so we could have everything," Sophia said. "But I didn't want everything. I just wanted him." 1 year after that snowy night in the cafe, Nicholas stood in Claire's small apartment, now about to become their shared home. "I want to show you something," Nicholas said, pulling out a photo. It was the picture Claire had shown him that first night, of her husband Daniel with his family. "I've been carrying this in my wallet," Nicholas said, "to remember. Daniel's sacrifice taught me what not to do, but his love for you and Sophia taught me what's worth living for." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "He would have liked you. He would have been grateful that his mistakes helped someone." "I'm grateful too," Nicholas said, "because if you hadn't had the courage to speak up that night, I'd probably be dead within a year." "You saved my life, Claire, and you saved ours," Claire replied. "You gave us back what we'd lost. Not Daniel, we'll always miss him, but hope, family, a future that isn't just about survival." Sophia ran into the room. "Are you going to marry Mommy?" Nicholas smiled. "If she'll have me, of course, she will," Sophia said matter-of-factly. "You're home every night for dinner." "Daddy never was. That's how I know you love us." Nicholas knelt beside Sophia. "Your dad loved you too. He just loved you in a way that hurt him. I'm going to love you in a way that keeps me alive to see you grow up. Deal?" "Deal," Sophia said, hugging him. 2 years after Nicholas had been working himself to death in a cafe at 11 at night, he stood at the altar watching Claire walk toward him. Sophia was the flower girl, beaming with pride. And in Nicholas's pocket was the photo of Daniel Morrison, the man whose death had taught him how to truly live.